Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Emily Hiles, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Flight Sergeant Peter Hannon. We warmly welcome this evening the delegation representing the Ramsgate RSL sub-branch. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved. And here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament. Flowers of the forest, wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Lieutenant Charles Cornelius Kelly. Charles Kelly was born on the 7th of October 1919 in Longreach, Queensland, the only child born to Maud and Charles Cornelius Kelly. His father was a grazier at Hazelwood, near Longreach, who died when Charles was about 3 years old. Charles's aunt moved in with his mother after this, and he went on to attend Geelong Grammar School. He also spent 2 years of his schooling at Guildford during an extended visit to England with his mother. Kelly went on to work as a jackaroo on Longway, a property near Longreach. He was also a member of militia, parading part-time with the 26th Battalion and receiving a commission as lieutenant in August of 1939. With the coming of the Second World War, Charles Kelly enlisted in the 2nd Australian Imperial Force at Townsville on the 4th of March 1940. Initially posted to the 2nd 12th Infantry Battalion, Lieutenant Kelly soon began intensive training. In April, he attended Command Training School at Enoggera in Brisbane. In mid-June, he embarked on the troop ship Dominion Monarch at Sydney. During the journey to England, he attended the ship's hospital, suffering from rubella, also known as German measles. Arriving in Liverpool in late July, the training continued. In September, he attended an extensive weapons training course. On the 9th of March 1941, Kelly embarked from the United Kingdom, having transferred to the 2nd 31st Infantry Battalion. He joined his new unit in Palestine for training, attending a field works course at the Mobile School of Mechanics in March, and then tactical school in April. In late May, Kelly and the 2nd 31st Battalion took part in the 25th Brigade's first offensive operation, the invasion of Vichy French-held Syria and Lebanon. The first major engagement began near Kirby, a small town in south-eastern Lebanon, on the 8th of June. Advancing from the Palestine frontier in the early hours, the 2nd 31st was able to move quite close to the town without encountering any resistance. An Allied Free French officer was then sent forward to encourage the enemy Vichy French garrison, part of an Algerian regiment, to surrender. And he was rebuffed and shot in the back as he returned to the Australian positions. The Australians were then subjected to heavy artillery, mortar and machine gun fire. Attempts were made to advance throughout the early morning, but the town of Kirby, located atop of a hill, was an excellent defensive position and little progress was made. The effort to capture Kirby was called off mid-morning. By then, Lieutenant Kelly had been wounded. A member of the battalion, Corporal Moore, later reported, "I was within 5 yards of Lieutenant Kelly at Kirby on the 8th of June, 1941, at approximately 0600 hours, and he was shot in the groin. We were within 100 yards of the fort and under such heavy fire that it was impossible to get out alive in the daytime. Everything possible was done on the spot, but Mr. Kelly died at around 1630 hours. Lieutenant Kelly was a real gentleman, as well as a good officer and soldier, and was particularly popular with all the boys who felt his loss keenly. Charles Kelly was 21 years old. Initially buried near where he fell, his remains were later reburied in Damascus Commonwealth War Cemetery, where they lie today. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, amongst almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today besides the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Lieutenant Charles Cornelius Kelly, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, in the hope of a better world.
If able, please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of our director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.